Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in to The Medium by Design. So today I have a very intense message from the Pleiadians. And if you've been on my channel, you know there's a whole section, there's some Pleiadian stuff there and some other ET things. And this one I thought was pretty important because we have this full moon tomorrow, Monday, August 19th, 2024. And because the rest of this year is so focused on what's happening in the US, all eyes are on the US, I thought this was very important for at least US citizens and possibly for other countries too. So this is from the Pleiadians. Oh, by the way, they introduced themselves as the Pleiadian High Council. We are on high alert as we watch the continuing tug of war going on around the planet. The need to dominate most of your world is not subsiding. If anything, many of you must be feeling the amping up of energies. We concur with the many others that holding your own frequency this year is the utmost importance for your own health and sanity. You will each witness a level of behavior that not only is irrational, but you might say borders on psychotic, both in the world at large and in some you witness firsthand. Many will be learning to keep your distance as this will be your only course of action. We believe that the new frequencies are being overwhelming to some, perhaps many, and there will be some fallout. Just remember, those on the path, stay on the path, and all will continue to work in your favor. Many of you were guided to step back in recent years, stood back and watched scenarios play out you could never have imagined. That same energy is being touted here in the US and abroad to push the limits of the human psyche. You might say it is an experiment to see how far things can be taken. We say this is the biggest opportunity in history, in centuries, where humans have a chance to take their power and sovereignty back to change the course of the future. This is why so many are needed to remain clear, calm, and collected. The more you agree on how you want the world to go, the more power will be available to manifest that future. The US is the most unstable in this aspect because it is so divided, and many, too many, still hold hate. Many others are holding immense levels of fear. We would say this must be eradicated, and you must unite as a nation. So what I got out of that was all of this petty arguing, and I'm right, you're wrong, and we're on this side, you're on that side, we don't want that side, we don't want this thing. The one thing I noticed about the extremes in this country, the extremes are the ones we don't want to listen to. We do not want to give them airtime. We do not want to engage. We're not interested. It's the middle of the road people with critical thinking and sanity that still love humanity and want to see love, peace, abundance, happiness, joy on earth. That's where we want to be, united, no matter what our other affiliations are. I've had to do this my entire life. I've been asked to speak at numerous churches, spiritual groups, meditation groups, plus my own teachings, my own classes. And I always have to meet at the common area, the common ground. I can't walk in there like a know-it-all and speak above people like so many spiritual people online are doing. They're speaking above you, the people who are trying to be the movement of your own country, whatever country that may be. I heard this one character say, I'm broadcasting from 5D and it's going down to 3D. Oh, really? You're so on a different plane. You're so separate. My question to people that express themselves in that way is, do you see what's going on with people, with real live people? Do you see what they're struggling with? Do you see what is happening in people's lives? How some people are going through major breakdowns, things falling apart, and they don't have a spirit connection. They don't feel it. They don't practice it. They don't know. Do you see the homeless people in the world? Do you see the encampments? Those things are real. And yes, you could say it's part of the 3D, but that is a real life experience that real souls are having. And you know how I know that? Because I talk to them. Because sometimes I give out some food. Not all the time. It's not my big mission. Not that I know of, not yet. But I have been around these people. They're people, you know? And what I just get a kick out of people online that are sitting on this throne, this self-imposed throne, and they think they know all the aspects of humanity. Well, unless you go down in the ditches, you don't know shit. It doesn't matter how much I channel. I channel from all these beings. You see what's on here. I channel from all the different levels. I'm not a one entity channel. I'm one entity being, a one entity, whatever. I don't lock into anything. I do what comes to me because it's all organic. I'm not controlling. I'm not a driving force in this. I just do like this. Let's talk about this for a second. This message came last night at a Gong sound bath. So I'm laying there trying to relax and let go and relax my nervous system. And here's what the Pleiadians did for me before this message from the High Council. I believe it's on YouTube, but I can't remember. There's a Pleiadian experience that I had where a woman greeted me on a ship and she asked me if I would go into the med bed. And this is through my healing, through my heart healing. And I did. I agreed to do that. And I did have an experience, and it was pretty profound. And the last night she came again and greeted me and asked me, would you like to go, let's go back to the med bed again. So even though I was aware of the room I was in, and I was aware of the beautiful air conditioning hitting the beautiful gentle breeze, I was also on the ship in the med bed, and she was talking to me. So what she did was she offered to work on the alignment of the body that included a recalibration of the electrical system to assist the heart to come down from, quote, high alert status, that the remnants of trauma in the body are still being released. So the heart trauma was a big thing, but while this was going on, I felt a pain on the left side of my head. And they told me, let's see, that they were clearing trauma from my past. And what flashed in my memory was a major car accident I was in where I did hit my head. And, I didn't know if there was a residual to that. So when people think that this work is not practical, there are frequencies bombarding you anyway. The sun, the high intensity sun frequencies, the high intensity Earth's Schumann resonant frequencies, the high intensity from ETs, the high intensity from your own guides, whether they're Archangel Michael, archangels in general, the Holy Family, whatever your soul is connected to. And you're being bombarded with those no matter what anyway. So it behooves you to get in touch with where that might be coming from, why that's happening to you, because obviously if it is, and I know it's not happening to everyone, again, remind me if I say everybody, everyone, every country. Not true. You're all having your own unique experience, and some of you are awakening to your soul for the first time. You have no idea what your soul agenda is, and you're trying to find out. You don't know why things are falling apart. You don't know why you're so unhappy, and you're figuring it out because you have to change your job. You have to move. A lot of people are doing a lot of changes. And this started years ago. I believe it started in 2012 when Neptune went into Pisces. When Neptune went into Pisces, many of us became even more heightened in our awareness and our sensitivity. And once that started to happen, then your antenna, your radar all around you was getting sharper to realize the energies you were part of, you were engaged in, and that you were surrounded by. Once your soul got in touch with you that much for you to read those energies, then you started to make the changes to get out of the ones your soul did not want you engaged in. That's how the spirit connection works. Now, if it's not your soul, it could be Jesus. Jesus has been with me for decades, helping me. And let me correct that. It's more than decades. It's centuries, perhaps millions of years I've known that being. Not as the being that we know from that one lifetime, which we all know that being. I'm talking about the multidimensional being that we sat on these councils. We helped humanity in the past from the other side, from another dimension. And I know for many, this is so far out, it can't be real. But that's only because you don't know. You know, you can deny what you don't know, but the best stance to have is, I don't know what I don't know, please show me. Please tell me. Please explain this. Please download the energy to me so I can understand. That's your best stance. It is the healthiest way to be. And that's the only reason I believe that I've gone this far with this mediumship and channeling ability. Because I didn't know. My soul knew. But did I personally know where this was going, who I was going to channel? And I'll tell you something else. Over 30 years ago, when Ginny Stern, and there's a message from her, she just died last year, 2023, there's a message from her on there. And when I first met her, and she invited me to my first meditation group when I was just in my 20s and didn't know anything. And who was the first group of beings that came to me? The Pleiadians. I couldn't plan that. That was just my little self being open to, oh, what's going to happen here? And that's another stance that I take when I go to a group, when I leave the house. What amazing thing are you going to show me today? What are you going to gift me with today? Who am I going to share a special moment with today? That's how I live my life. I still have negative emotions. I still have anxiety waves, especially since the heart surgery. Not as bad. It's better, but it's still there. And the heart is still doing things that I don't like, but I'm not in the emergency room. So I'm just going with the flow. And if I get to the doctor's video, I don't know if I'm gonna make that video, but they told me what that was. And just like in this one, they told me what was going on, that there's still some trauma clearing that's going on. So one woman last night made the perfect comment. Many years ago, she just agreed to evolve. She made a commitment to herself. I'm here to evolve. Show me how. So every time a crisis came up, she knew she was there to go through something to learn, grow, and maybe take back some of her power from other timelines that she gave her power away, which is what they're talking about in here. The sovereignty. The masses taking back their power and sovereignty. And sovereignty is not a word I even like, but it came up here. So I'm going to end this video. I just want it out for the full moon. I'm going to upload it, get it out. And I hope it touches you. I hope it makes sense to you. Feel free to comment. Feel free to email me. If you want a personal reading or you want to set up a group in your area, now's the time. I mean, this is an intense time. And if you haven't been to another spiritual group in your area, a meditation group, join in on something. Do something that helps you stabilize your electrical system, your nervous system, your mind. I said this last night to the group. I said, I don't believe the mind-oriented, or I don't believe many of, I won't say everybody, I don't believe many of the mind-oriented people are going to do well. Because if you keep trying to figure out all this irrational energy is not going to make sense. You can't rationalize the irrational. It doesn't work. So if you got this far, you know what to do. Press the like, subscribe, share the videos, get the word out. it would be really nice for me to do more of what I came to do, which is as simple as touching more people. That's it. That's what I'm here to do. Touch more people. So, and share all these wonderful messages. So thanks again for tuning in. I hope you get this before the full moon, but if you don't, and maybe it'll fit into whatever time frame you see this, and you'll get something beneficial, because these are coming in waves anyway. It doesn't have to be right around the full moon. These waves are going to continue for some time. So thanks again for watching, and there is more to come on The Medium by Design.